Hello and welcome to episode 6 of the Late Night Serial Podcast. This is a Halloween special. Ooh! Because, you know, six rhymes with crucifix.
Yeah, and you have
There you
lots
go.
of 60s, makes a scary number, doesn't it? And
What else rhymes with
alien,
6? Weetabix.
Yeah.
Cereal related. We're talking about cereal.
yeah, that's it.
And I've
Cereal.
got, what cereal's this? I've got here.
They look like sort of like shreddy, not shreddies, like Wheatos.
Yeah. Shredded
They are
wheat.
shredded wheat.
Shredded wheat. And not just
Ooh.
shredded wheat, bite size shredded wheat.
So you do one per bite. You haven't got to think about it. Ooh.
No, bite. Ooh, yeah, come on, bite.
Oh, sorry. Ooh, it's scary because in one bite they're gone forever.
Ooh, and
no one knows where they went.
Exactly. Ooh, tell me about yours. Why I have some?
Oh, right. Well, mine's extra scary because I don't technically have it. Ooh, but I have this though to show it because I kept this because this was a gift a while ago. Ooh, look, it's scary fruit pebbles. Look. Ooh, look, they're both looking very scared. Look.
Ooh, that's a naked flame. Ooh.
Basically, a long time ago, Stu sent over some cereal from America. We had the cereal already. But we kept the boxes. I don't know. I know it's a weird sort of thing to collect, I guess. I know, but I just want to keep the box.
Wait a minute. So you've got no cereal to eat now?
No, because I've sort of. But to make up for the cereal, though, well, you know that was cereal once, a long time ago. It's an urban legend. There once was cereal in there. Look.
Ooh.
But to make up for that, I have got to make it extra spooky. I've actually got pumpkin spice tea from Bird and Blend.
Ooh.
I don't
know. What's Bird and Blend? I don't know Bird and Blend.
Oh, it's like a tea company. Basically, they do like loose tea and different flavour teas. A bit like I don't know. I can't remember the name of the other company now. But companies where you can buy like more like posh tea sort of thing. And new ones opened up in the town. So, and Daddy picked them up today. Some pumpkin spice pie tea.
Is it nice?
It's really nice, yeah. It's very different to pumpkin spice, like latte coffee. But it's really, I'm having it without any milk because don't have any milk with this sort of one.
Oh, you don't have milk with that one? Interesting.
No, you can, but when it's like flavoured teas, like when you get a chocolate tea or an orange tea, things like that, you kind of just keep the tea bag in and let it brew a bit.
Yeah. Because I'm like that with coffee where, I'd love to have the pumpkin spice coffee, but I don't drink caffeine that much. So I don't, especially with coffee. Free. And the caffeine-free one, I don't know what it will taste like.
I definitely do one. I definitely offer it, to be honest.
No.
Only like milk options and stuff normally.
So I was looking, have you ever those beanies coffees? Those little jars?
Yeah, we used to get them all the time.
I quite like them, and I've heard people not like them. I quite like them.
It's literally, it's like, what do they call it? It's like a Marmite effect. You either love them or hate them.
Yeah,
we've had all the different flavours, and we've loved them. We even got, last year, a Beanies advent calendar. And you'd get little sachets and some of the pots in the calendar. And it worked out really good.
I was getting the decaf ones, but you had about a handful of them, but they were really nice. I think it was like from this feels like we're advertising it.
So no, it does, doesn't it? Well,
you can get them on Amazon.
Yeah.
Put the links down below.
Cereal for something.
They are nice though, yeah. I haven't had them for a while, but they are nice. But pumpkin spice tea, I feel like I'm so late because it's like, I don't know about you, even though autumn lasts till like the 22nd of December, I think. It's kind of like I kind of have a cut off for stuff like that after Halloween.
Yeah, I do get it because, well, even like Starbucks does it anyway. They end up cutting it off soon because they want to kick in with the Christmas stuff, which is not that great at Starbucks. It's normally just a hot chocolate. It's no real good coffee. Costa do a nice like.
I had one today. I had a maple, maple something, not syrup, maple something hot chocolate, and it was absolutely gorgeous. I'm not even a massive fan of hot chocolate, but for some reason, like the syrup they put in there, it's just beautiful.
Yeah. And that's a seasonal thing, so that'd be for Christmas and Like,
Oh, that's for the all over Christmas. Do you think? Because you've
I
got a
think
Black
so.
Forest
I
thing there
think it
as
is.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope it does anyway. But
Other
yeah,
coffee
that's what
shops are available as well.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, support your local coffee shop. If anyone else says it.
I feel like Costa though. Talking of Halloween, then, because this is
Yeah.
a Halloween special.
It is.
Ooh. Um, People at home might think, well, where are your costumes? Because you probably we forgot to do it. That's why we're doing this instead. Whoa! So that's what you get.
If it helps, we did get one. I bought
Yeah.
one. It'll be featured another time at some point. I'm sure it will.
Well, are you? Because this is going out on, hopefully, going to go out late night on the 30th, so people can watch it on that night, and then hopefully the next
Yes.
night. Hopefully, because we think this can do that. Are you going to be? Are you streaming on tonight, or are you going to be streaming tomorrow on Halloween?
Yeah, because yeah, I should. Well, I don't know. I don't know
Just
because
thinking
we
of what your
around
plans.
our way. You're gonna be very jealous of this. I think we said before, but around our way, we do get a lot of kids come round for
Oh,
Halloween. Like a
oh,
lot. Like last year, we run out of sweets, and this year we went crazy and bought loads.
oh,
But we never really that bothered in the past where we used to live because we didn't really get kids. We just get random teenagers turn up in a black bag and go,
yeah,
got any money? You know, like what?
yeah,
So, but around here, it's been last year. It was absolutely brilliant. It's one of the things where I wish you could see the costumes, but it's a bit weird. You can't take pictures of
yeah.
stuff.
You can't think of it. Yeah, it's weird.
But
You can't
it's just the outfits are brilliant because it's not your typical, oh, it's a ghost, it's a witch. They do have that as well. But the best thing, I can't remember if I've said before, but there was a kid come up last time up the road and we could see something like waddling along towards the door because it's quite dark out. We're like, what's that? And it was literally a kid dressed as a traffic cone. But it took up his whole body. So he's like waddling
It's
along to the
the
front
most
door.
random thing, isn't it?
Anyway, he went,
Yeah.
can you tell? Do you know what I am? Like that to us. So at the door, and I went, traffic cone.
It's weird,
like,
isn't it? Because you think
He
on
was so
Halloween
excited.
people are going to dress up as like spooky things, but not
Yeah,
everybody's into spooky things. I suppose
no.
that's the argument, isn't it?
But there was a couple. There was a girl turned up like I don't know, looking like a zombie witch. She
Oh
was
wow!
terrifying, and she must have been about 10. She had the makeup, she had contact lenses, she had the blood on it. She
Oh,
actually looked
wow!
really scary.
Oh, that's brilliant.
And I'm
I love
like, and she's like, "Oh, trick or treat." She's like, "Sweet," it's like the way she was talking,
it.
but she looked
She wasn't a
scary.
method actor then.
No,
She
no,
didn't get into it.
no.
No,
But you
that would
even
have been
get
great.
even the thing that also is nice is because a lot of them, like younger kids, come around. They got their parents with them. So what they do is the parents end up standing at the top of the path, but even they dress up as well. So at the end
Yeah.
of the road, you can see like other people dressed up,
Oh, that's
not
brilliant.
watching their kids to go to the front door,
So
and
I
it's
think
really
for
lovely.
me, I've made the mistake year after year of not putting stuff outside. Could you put stuff outside your
Yeah,
house? Is that what it
like
is?
with our town, it's if you've got a pumpkin outside the front door, that means that you're okay to have like kids to turn up with
Yeah.
for treats and that, or if you've got something in the window that kind of says like trick or treat or
Isn't that
whatever.
amazing? You
That's
can't think of anything else that would do that. You do that with in life. Put something outside. It's like Bring Out Your Dead, where you put like a hex on your door or something. That's the only
Yeah.
thing I can think of. Like there's nothing else in life. You don't do something like that for Christmas or something. That's quite
Well,
cool. Yeah.
we said that sign that somewhere says what does it
Stop
say?
here or something.
Stop here or something.
Yeah.
Like, it's not quite the same, is it? Really?
No, it's the same. I love that though. We're gonna put a pumpkin outside. We've got a
Yeah.
little bit of
Do
Halloween
that.
stuff in the window, but I always forget and then complain and no one knocked because I think we're in the minority because everyone else complains.
Well, that's it. Well, that's the thing. Like, I think it got to a point where, at one point, everyone just expected kids to turn up, but then they wouldn't answer the door. They turn the lights out, things like that. To like people really complaining, especially stuff like social media, and then your towns or whatever have Facebook groups, and they probably complain and go crazy. So it makes it a bit more like people moan about it. So when they organised, they said if you've got pumpkin outside, that means you're welcome. If you don't have one, it's really
Love
lovely
it.
because next door, she's not fussed. She's a lovely lady, but she don't do trick or treat stuff or anything like that. And she don't put anything outside the front. And we notice the kids just go to our house and then move on to next. It's really
That's
respectful.
good.
It's really lovely. It is. So
Are
don't
they with
knock it
the
every
Are they with the
door.
parents as well though? Are they with the parents?
Most of them
Most of them, yeah.
are. Most of them are, and they normally just stand at the top of the road bit of it. But it's quite funny because where we live, like the houses opposite us and all along the row, none of the others like do Halloween decorations or anything like that at all.
Yeah.
So we're the only house they walk to. So you see like a little group of people coming up the path off the pavement at the side. And the thing is also the weirdest thing about it for me is that because it's quite a quiet town, you can literally hear kids in the night, like from 8 o'clock, and it's quite dark and that. But you can hear lots of kids talking and walking about. Normally, it's like dead quiet at that sort of time of night. But it really sounds like it's a proper little celebration. It's been really nice. I hope it's the same again this year, like it was last year. Like example, there's a house near us. They did it last year, done it again. They've made like a giant web on the side of the house. The whole side of the house is made of like web that is basically made out of rope with a giant spider on it.
Yeah, we've got actually a few of those around here. Like I've seen that more. And someone must have been selling them wholesale because I've seen a good few of those. Like for the first time, just rope, just hanging off the side of the house with a big giant spider on. We've also got quite close. This like someone's put some haystacks out, which is so weird, with Freddy Krueger on top. Like you've just made a Freddy Krueger. He's sitting there, and there's loads of pumpkins. It looks so cool. It's such a good way of doing it.
Actually.
But
Some others have done it. Normally, people put a lot of webbing on their hedges and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And in one house, God, I almost didn't crash the car when I was driving home because I looked to the left of me as I go round to where I live, and there's someone's got a skeleton outside the house, but not a normal skeleton, a giant one, like it's huge. And you could see the top of this skeleton around the corner. I was like, what's that?
It's definitely getting bigger, isn't it? It's definitely getting bigger, Halloween.
Yeah.
Like, I actually love it. You do get people who complain and say, I actually put a TikTok about this before because I've had 5 minutes and I just thought, why don't people like Halloween? Because sometimes you mention it to people and they go, it's so American. Why is it getting so big? And it's like, you know what? Whatever. I really enjoy it because I love horror movies and the spooky time. And I think this season is the best. But like, I love the fact it's getting bigger and bigger because like the kids can really enjoy it as well. Like they seem to be having loads of fun with it, and that getting more people doing trick or treating and with the families and stuff. It seems like just a really nice thing to do.
Yeah, the thing is, also I really like it, but when I was younger, I never did trick or treating, going to houses at all, because I think it was because like. My mum was like, "Oh, don't you go into people's houses and people being horrible to you?
To
go away."
My mum was like, "I don't want you to do it because it's begging." It's begging.
Really? All right.
Yeah, she's like, "You don't want you to do it because it's like begging for sweets." So it was like, "You're not doing that. I feel embarrassed." And I was like, "I kind of get that."
Oh, what?
I suppose it's like the penny for the guy people. I've still sort of.
Yeah.
I saw a couple of penny for the guys the other day, and just they're not going to give him a penny. As if you're going to give them a penny, what are you going to do with that?
I know you can't do anything with it.
They're right outside of an offie as well. I know what they want the money for.
Stiggy for the guy.
Exactly.
For the guy.
Well, years ago, the only time I went trick or treating, I remember the exact time as well because we went home and watched Ghost Watch afterwards for the first time, and then scared stiff. But it's the only one time we got loads of sweets. It was good though. It was good. But what's your plans for Halloween then this year then? Is it you just going to be watching movies and then waiting for the door to knock?
Yeah, well, we've been watching them since the beginning of October. What we normally do is we go to our friend's house who lives in London. They've got like a game room with a big cinema screen. It's really nice setup, and he's done up his room like Jason Voorhees like cabin style with all the old wood around it. Nice. They've got him like peeking out of the window. He's got like loads of stuff going on in the room, and what he does is. We go around there. We just watch lots of films on a Friday night. And
are you going to do it on Halloween night as well?
No, we can't because obviously like a weekday, and I can't go there and come home and get work and stuff.
So have you got any plans for the actual night tomorrow night?
Basically, it mostly entails something easy to have for dinner because we're going to probably be getting out of the chair every 2 minutes for children coming to the door. Like literally, you answer one door, you close the door, and then next minute there's another knock at the door.
That's amazing.
And you can hear just kids shouting out before we've even got to the door, and it's just hear voices. You're like,
I think I'm doing the same thing. Well, more so because I'm gonna have something simple like a burger or something, and then just eat loads of snacks, and
yeah.
I'm gonna just fill my face full of sweets. That's a little cupcakes and everything. I've been
Oh,
collecting all loads of stuff.
cupcakes. Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
little Halloween ones. I'm a sucker for anything like that. Just a little fairy cake with a
Mm, mm.
little picture of I don't know
Well,
Frankenstein or something on it.
well, that's it. A lot of them, what they do is they basically get the thing you see all year round, and what they do is they add on scary cakes, and they just
And
make
I
the
thought
packaging
it's not
green.
even not even like falling for it as if oh wow I know exactly what they're doing, but I love
There's
it.
blood inside, but it's actually
Oh, is that
jam.
great?
Ooh.
I saw like Aldi was selling like chicken chicken fillet things and they call them zombie fingers. And I'm like, come on. It's just
Zombie
chicken strips.
chickens in
Yeah, zombie chicken.
batter.
Oh.
Ooh.
What movies are you gonna watch tomorrow then? Let's just quickly mention that before we get on to the games you've
Well,
been
we
playing.
would. We've
You,
hasn't been watching so many of them. We're going to try and. Well, one thing we
you
do
haven't
watch
planned?
every year.
Go
Well,
on.
the planned thing we have planned is we always watch the bottom episodes, the Halloween one.
Oh, that's a brilliant episode. Do you know what? That's a
Always,
good call.
always.
That's a very good call. I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
Oh, but you know what? I might write that down.
it's a
I
good
might
one.
write that down.
Because one year, whenever we go to a friend's house, if a friend has
Go
like a
on.
Halloween party, he had it the other week. Unfortunately, I couldn't go, but he does do a Halloween party. He's done it every year. And one year we want to go as Eddie and Richie, dressed as Eddie and Richie, but one in the banana outfit with Eddie's suit, and one as Richie with the devil suit with
Oh, that's
his
brilliant.
suit. And we're trying to do that one day. We
Oh,
need to do it.
I might give that a watch tomorrow actually because I always say this like 'cause everyone outside this podcast won't know this, but it's the one time of year I can get my wife Linz to watch horror movies like properly. And we went
Yeah.
to see Nightmare on Elm Street one at the cinema the other day because I bought the tickets and pushed her into it, and all the way through she was like, "I hate this, it's horrible." And I was like, "Oh my god!" But on Thursday, my plan is to watch Dream Warriors, which is Nightmare on Elm Street 3.
Oh,
We're
yeah,
watching
my
that.
favourite. That's my
She
favourite,
never
that
watched
one.
that, and I love it. And one of my mates is coming around as well, so it's kind of like it's
Oh, cool.
when you got a
Okay.
couple of people there, it's like it's safety
Yeah.
in numbers with horror movies, isn't it? Because you can kind of laugh about it as
Yeah,
well.
same. That's how, yeah,
You don't
because when we
feel
go
as
to a
scared.
friend's house, like four of us. Four of us
Exactly.
all there.
You kind of like if you're on your own, it's like even if I watch like Evil Dead on my own with the lights
Yeah,
off, I'm like, "Ugh." But with loads of people, I can have a laugh with it. But yeah, we're watching
yeah.
Dream Warriors, we're watching
Nice.
Chopping Mall,
Oh,
because
yeah, see that.
that's a
Yeah.
nice one. It's a fun one,
That's a
which you
fun one. I think
you
she
won't
Lynn's a like that one.
exactly in the middle. I think that'd be a good one to be. She can kind of go and that's what I'm thinking. Maybe we start with the bottom episode. So bottom episode
Yeah,
possibly
that's a
Dream
fun one.
Warriors, Chopping Mall, and then for the last one, I was kind of thinking Demons, but everyone in chat was telling me do not show a Demons. Demons is a Dario Argento movie. Well, it was a kind of a westernized one. I don't know if you've seen it, where they go and loads of people, random people, get invited to a cinema, and someone cuts the face open with a mask, and
Oh
then when they're all
no, I
watching
haven't,
the
I
movie,
haven't seen that
you
one.
turn into zombie. Oh, it's so grotesque. Like it's so
Oh,
grotesque, but it's so
brilliant.
cool. It's got a great soundtrack and everything. But it's a brilliant movie, but I think it might be too much for Linz to watch. So I'm probably, even though this is probably too much, but it's a bit more funnier. I'm probably going to end with Return of the Living Dead, proper 80s film as well.
I think that's a fun one. It's gruesome, but a
Fun,
fun
it's
one.
gruesome. Yeah, it is.
Um,
It's fun, isn't it? You know, the whole what the zombies say on the phone is it send more
oh, is it
police
the
officers or
police one?
paramedics?
Send more tasty police. No,
Yeah, so yeah, it's that.
send
Yeah,
more
it's so
tasty
funny. It's
police
either
sprays
police
or something.
officers or parademics. Parademics?
Oh, that's it.
What's the word?
Paramedics.
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 Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
because it's the ambulance, isn't it? That's it.
Exactly. And so I think that could be a fun one to watch in numbers because you know what, we like it was only not that long ago actually we made him round and we put on Evil Dead Rise. Or we might have watched that actually. Did we watch that last Halloween?
I've
Evil
not
Dead
actually seen
Rise.
that yet. I've got it,
Oh,
but I've not watched it
I
yet.
thought it was pretty good. I watch that
Okay.
tomorrow. Watch that tomorrow.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think
Oh, actually,
it's
yeah, I might
very
do.
it's really
Got it.
gory, but it's fun. I think it's good. You know, it polarized a few people, but I love the fact that he kind of took the Evil Dead formula and took it outside of the cabin. You know what I mean? I think
Yeah.
it did it well, and hopefully they'll do like a sequel to it. It's good.
I will admit, when I saw the mum in the trailer, she really freaked me out. So I was a bit
Oh,
like, I want to
she is.
watch it, but she's
She's
really
brilliant.
freaky.
She is so freaky in it, but like
Yeah.
she's really good. But it kind of gets to a point where like it's kind of freaky in midway, and then it comes into
Okay.
a kind of action horror movie. If you know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, it kind of where you're just kind of like having fun with it, and it kind of
Yeah.
I'm trying to think like Dead Space or like a got related to Resident Evil style thing. I don't know.
Right.
But
Oh,
anyway,
one
go
thing
on.
for you as well, just
Yeah.
quickly. Little task for you. When you watch that bottom episode,
Mhm.
try and look out for the computer game.
Oh.
There's a computer game related thing in that
Oh,
episode.
really? I haven't seen it
Yeah,
for probably like 20 years. I
you'll
haven't seen an
probably
episode.
notice it. I feel like you'll notice it right away, and
Yeah.
then you go, "Oh look, da da da," and then
Oh,
Lindsay look at you like, "What?"
uh,
And then you're like,
I'll be looking out
"Ah."
for a Game Boy or something. It's got what year was it?
No, I can't
Early
say what it
90s, isn't it?
is,
Okay,
but
I'll look
see
out
if
for
you
it.
can notice the video game related
I hope
items.
it's on like the iPlayer or something. Because last time I looked, the bottom episodes weren't there, and I want to get like a nice
Oh,
hard copy of that series at some point.
because you
Shit.
get them on DVD, but it's a very strange collection because it's all
Yeah,
like very best of ones. It's a bit odd.
ridiculous, isn't it?
Uh,
Yeah.
you probably might find it on
I need to, yeah.
probably
From,
YouTube. To be honest,
I reckon it might be playing on YouTube, but to be honest, at some point I want to get them all because I'd love to have
yeah.
the Christmas episode available as well because that's an
Oh yeah,
amazing
yeah.
episode.
Holy, yeah. That's another
I
one we
have
watch.
that.
We watch every year as well, and all that. So,
But yeah, that's my plans for Halloween. Anyway, what have you been playing recently? Like, tell me about your Halloween games.
yes, my spooky games. Ooh.
Whoa!
Um, well, me and Danny, we completed Castlevania 64 on
I
Sunday.
wanted to ask you
Yep.
about that.
Mm.
One question, right? What's the music like? Is it good?
Brilliant.
I'm gonna say,
It's not Castlevania music, as in this track remixed. There is apparently one track which I didn't know. Someone told me in the chat.
yeah.
It's a remix of one from the older games. I
Oh,
didn't
okay.
know.
Yeah,
But the music is really, really well
yeah,
done. It
good.
fits the atmosphere. Works really well. Doesn't get like repetitive or annoying. Every track's different on every level, pretty much.
That's
So
great.
yeah, recommend it. Recommend that one.
So last time we
And
talked
yeah.
about it, sorry, so jumping in.
Oh,
Last time we talked about it, you were just starting it and you were enjoying it, and you were like, we were kind of going on like everyone says this is kind of the bad game out of the Castlevania
yeah.
bunch. But then I was mentioning that there might be a bit that's coming up that a lot of people say that's the bit like it's terrible.
Yeah, I know the bit. Oh, I know the bit they're talking about. It's not that bad. The only thing that annoyed us. So, example, you have to get in a nutshell. Really, you got to get two items. You have to get one item. You have to get it to a wall, but you can't take both items at the same time. You've got to take one, put it down, go and get the other item. But the
Oh,
other item, it's unstable. So if you jump, you blow up. If you
this sounds
fall, you
awful.
blow up. If you get hit, you blow up.
This sounds
So
terrible.
but if you get the item and you've got to get this item across, I don't know why you got to do this, right? But you've got this very thin wall and it's like jagged wall like this, and you've got to basically slowly walk around it. With now and again, you might get an enemy trying to attack you. Luckily, we didn't have no enemies attack us for some reason.
Oh, yeah.
But we got stuck for ages because where there's an item, you can get to it from both sides of the same room, but there's like a wall in the way with a shelf.
Oh.
We didn't realise that you could get the item from either side. So we were trying to work out how did we get the item from that side to this side, which you couldn't just walk around without jumping, and found out you can get the item from either side.
Oh, I see.
That was the most annoying bit. But other than that, though, really good. Dracula looks incredible. And we found out from Marcus, Marcus, who the all-known Marcus,
Legend, yeah.
He's legend. We found out we actually got the best ending as well. Apparently, so there was a day and night cycle to it as well. So certain enemies will be weaker when it's a daytime. So you've got like a clock in the corner with a sun and the moon. You can actually buy sun and moon cards that speeds up time. Rather, you want it to be late or you want it to be day.
Oh, there's a hell of a lot more to this game than I thought it was. I thought it was just a standard, 3D game, but they put a lot of thought into it by the looks of it.
There is some extra. The one bit they added in, which I think I might have mentioned before, but which was quite annoying, but you kind of get on with it. If you actually get bitten by a vampire, you get turned into a vampire.
Yeah, he was saying, and then it's pointless. You can't do anything with that power.
Yeah, you can only use your secondary item, which is a sword, which you don't get in the other Castlevania. So you have two weapons, your whip and your upgrade, along with like a sword, which is good for different situations. But what we ended up doing was we just bought a load of the purifiers, I think they were called, where basically it turns you back to human, and then you can use the meat and get your health up. So, but it's the way they attack. You got to learn how to get around that and stuff like
So it
that.
doesn't give you anything good for being a vampire. I know we talked about this last time, but
No,
because is it Symphony of the Night where you go a la carte? Is it that one?
yeah,
And
yeah,
he's
that
got
is,
like
yeah.
abilities, and he's a
Oh, he has
vampire, isn't
like
he?
a million abilities. He can do this. He can fly. He can turn into smoke. He can turn into a bat. He can do loads of stuff. Yeah, you turn purple, and all you can use is your sword.
Turn into a Ribena.
You
Yeah.
basically, yeah, and you can use your sword, and that's it. Your health doesn't go down. At least,
Oh, that's
I
good.
thought what would have been nice is it made you stronger. At
Yeah.
least, see if you got. But you found yourself. It found it more of a nuisance than a cool little feature.
Yeah.
But then we found out when we finished the game, there was an actual. I won't say for when if you play it.
Hmm.
But there is an additional boss battle at the end. And if
Oh.
you've done it right within a certain amount of days and night cycle, you go against him. If you don't, then you don't get that boss and you don't quite
Oh.
get the full good ending. Which we didn't know that. We just played
So
it and went, oh, that's
you
good.
accidentally you just did
Yeah.
it.
We're like, yay.
Yay. Oh, that's
So,
cool.
but we honestly, and the only thing that's a bit frustrating a little bit is that's Danielle's first Castlevania game.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't want
Yeah.
that to be her first game, but I know she loves the games, but she wouldn't sit there and play the NES version of Castlevania.
Yeah.
She wouldn't have the patience for it.
I
But she
think
really enjoyed it.
from the Castlevanias I played, now I'll talk about 3 in a minute.
Mm.
I played like 1, some of 2, and started 3 and
Yeah.
beat 4. I think 4 or Super Castlevania is the one to go with, to start with, I think.
Yeah, it's always a great start of that one because you've got all the different abilities when you're whipping, different angles. For me, the one that it's rather that one I'd recommend, or the other one is it ain't a proper name; it's a Western name, Rondo of Blood.
Yeah,
PC
I'd love to play
Engine
that.
one.
Yeah.
That one you would love that one because there's multiple parts. Like it relates to your bit, but there's multiple paths and things like that in there. But anyway, so we finished that one, and then I also finished Castlevania: The Adventure on Game Boy as well.
Oh yeah, you did. Because last time you were saying, I think it was like you were on the last bit, and when you died, you had to go all the way back. There was a lot of backtracking.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what they're going to do on a Game Boy version because there's not much memory on it. So I suppose that's the mess with the checkpoints to make it a longer game.
Well, that's it. You do get checkpoints to a degree, but once you lose all your lives or rest, that's it. You have to start from beginning. It's unlimited continues though, but
good.
you have to do that. The only problem was I was getting to Dracula, and I didn't know how to take out a second form. But you couldn't practice it because you had 2 extra goes at it, and if you died, but the level's quite long, and there's sections where there's spikes following you, and you got to be precise on a lot of the bits. And it was quite fun because if you die, you have to do a bit.
I was saying this last time. I think that I hate that in games where when you die on a boss and you go all the way back because by the time you get back to the boss, you've forgotten how to do it.
Yeah, because you kind of like. Yeah, because you're like, oh right, I got that in my mind now. Right, so if I do that when he jumps here, and then you think, oh, I'll try this out, but you can't.
It's just baby steps, isn't it?
Yeah,
and then you start messing up on the earlier parts, and you can't even get to the boss again. And you're like, oh.
Because you're rushing to get back to that bit, and then you end up losing more lives trying to get to it. But one thing I did by accident when I did it is that I had a rough idea what to do, and it worked a little bit the last time before I died. But you get upgrades to your whip. But in this one, if you get hit once, you lose that upgrade. So if you get 3 upgrades, which is like Fireball, strongest whip, you get knocked, you get a smaller whip, and then again. You lose another whip.
Just by getting hit?
Yeah, just hit once.
You
ain't got to die. Just being knocked, you lose that ability straight away. Awful. And it's like, oh. And so you want the most powerful, obviously, to help. And also, it's a longer range on your whip, on the higher one. So you got to basically learn the pattern of Dracula on the last part. And you want to try your hardest to keep that ability as possible. And so I learned the pattern of it. And then because I was focusing so much on trying to get it done and not lose the ability, I end up beating him like through phase 1 and 2. And then someone said, oh my God, you just beat Dracula, damageless. And I was like, Oh yeah. So
Didn't even
I was
notice.
well chuffed about that.
That's amazing. You should all that's a YouTube damages playthrough, damages
Yeah, I want to
beating.
do that. Yeah, I need to make it into a portrait bit of that.
Oh, you should do
Yeah,
it,
the
definitely.
damageless run, and it
Yeah.
wasn't even deathless; it was damageless. I was like, oh wow, but I really like it. It's got a lot of slowdown, but you do get used to it. And as I said before, it feels like you're walking in slippers,
Oh
but
yeah.
ones without backs on.
Yeah, I know what you
You
mean.
know, you feel like you're shuffling a bit, and
Yeah.
then once you jump, you're committed to that jump. You cannot suddenly turn yourself around halfway
Yeah.
in the air or anything like that.
I
So,
would
and also with Dracula, there's spikes and platforms. So you're watching out for his
oh
attacks, and if you fall into spikes, instant death, not even
I would
damage,
say one hit
instant.
kill. Yeah, no
Yeah.
way. I would have loved that
So,
as a kid, though. I remember I've said this last time. I remember seeing someone in the schoolyard playing that, and I was like, I'd love to be
mm,
able to take that home. You know, when you're a kid, you get kind of jealous what other people have got. And I would love that.
yeah,
I'd be doing it all
yeah,
night, and it'd be amazing. And then you like get to this age now, you can play anything, and you're just overwhelmed because there's too much to play. It's the
yeah,
issue.
yeah.
So
So yeah, other
that was
class
your
weight.
couple of games. So I played and beat Resident Evil.
Oh yeah, I actually I forgot you
Yeah,
did that.
yeah, I know. I was actually thinking about this before the podcast, thinking, what have I done recently? It's like, oh my god, because I think
That's a big deal.
I started talking about it last time, I think, but I
Yes, you
haven't
did. You
beat it.
talked about starting it, or no, you was
Oh, mate,
started it.
I was so made up to beat
Hmm.
that game now because that started my journey. Because now I'm like, well, now if I go back to that game, I could do the Chris playthrough, or I could do
Hmm.
the PlayStation version of it and see. I like this fact I can see the differences now. I can go back when I go back to that game and
Yeah,
I can play it. And I can see all the different versions of it, and obviously with the Jill playthrough on the PC, it had kind
yeah.
of infinite bloody what are they called? Or ink
Ink
ribbons.
ribbons.
So
Yeah.
obviously, like that compared to the PlayStation version, I don't think she's got infinite ink ribbons on the PlayStation version, has she?
Not that I can remember. I've been playing Resident Evil 2, and it definitely you have to
A
collect ink
certain amount,
ribbons on that
yeah.
one. Yeah.
Because on this version, if you go Chris, he's got limited ink ribbons, but
Right.
Jill's kind of like the easy mode, which is kind of a cool idea because then you play the other
No, it's
version.
nice. It's nice,
Yeah,
especially if it's your first one. It don't feel as daunting because if you
no,
did that and you're worried, because the thing that's the other element that makes that game more scary is that you can't keep saving, because it's
yeah,
nice that you can do
it is.
that. Like, it's still
Yeah,
terrible when you die, because it happened a few times to you, didn't it? Where you had to
yeah.
backtrack,
Oh God,
and the
yeah.
biggest worry is going, "Oh, did I pick up that key or
And there
didn't
was a
I?"
few moments where I didn't save
Hmm.
for ages, and because I was
Yeah,
like well away from, and that was kind of annoying with the backtracking. But I have to, find solace in the fact that if I had limited ink ribbons, I probably wouldn't be able to do what I do. And I'd come back to it and go, right, I've
yeah,
got to do this, then this, then this, then this, and I just have
yeah,
a bunch of things to do before I could save again. But to be honest, I kind of like the idea of that doing that again. If when I return to
yeah.
one, although I'm not going to do that, I'm going to go straight to two when I go.
I think you should go straight to number
Yeah,
two. Do
I
number
think
one.
so.
Revisit number one as Chris a later period of
Yeah,
time, because it's not that much of a difference. There is
no.
differences, but not as there is a big differences with Resident Evil 2, well, which I'm not going to say, but there is differences when there are two playthroughs with that.
Yeah, I have
But the
no
first
idea
one,
about two. Like I've seen bits of one, loads of bits of one, and I played
yeah,
a little bit of the GameCube remake years ago.
mm,
So I knew loads of bits of it, and I've seen loads on the stream. So I kind of went in there knowing like the mansion, or I've seen rooms, didn't know how they all connect. Two,
yeah,
I have not a clue. I'm so fresh to that. So when that's going to be quite exciting. I don't know when we're going to start playing that. But yeah, one was amazing.
yeah,
Like it's such a good game. I kind of can't wait to play it again. But it's one of those things now where you just realize these so many games are replayable, and I love that about these
yeah,
because
yeah, definitely,
it's
definitely,
hard, and it's like it made sense then because you're only getting one game. Do you know what I mean? Because
yeah,
you get your game for your birthday, and there was not that many games coming out. We're like,
yeah.
oh, there's a new PlayStation game coming out now. When you the likes of like Assassin's Creeds or whatever come out, and they're more like
It's almost
a
yearly at this point. It's
more
like
like,
FIFA, isn't it? Really?
they're like platforms within themselves with the
Yeah,
the DLCs and stuff like that. They're like a service which never ends. Do you know what I mean? So you're just a bit
yeah,
overwhelmed with the big games. But back then, to have a game where you can go back and you can go, start with Jill, then you can go through it with Chris, and they can do it. And people will tell me if you would have done this, then you would unlock this thing. So
yeah,
there's
yeah,
another
yeah,
reason to do
yeah,
a different, and it's different endings for each of the characters. And I thought, wow, that's really
yeah,
cool. And then you've got now you've got the remakes of that as well. So everyone wants to play that like fresh in a way as well. I could play like the
yeah.
newer remake, Well, that remake, when did that come out? Like probably about 10 years ago now. You know,
Well,
the PlayStation.
it come out with the GameCube. So
Oh,
whenever
not the GameCube one, the one that
oh,
came out later on. You know, there's that remake that came out on PlayStation with they've remade all three of them, haven't they? Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3.
they they remade 2 and 3,
Oh, didn't he
but
remake one?
number 1 is a HD version of the GameCube
Oh,
one.
really? I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Still looks gorgeous, but
Yeah.
it's not done in the same over the shoulders perspective. They did that
Oh.
with 2, and then 3 was rushed because 2 did so well. They just
You need
brought
to
out
sort number
3
three
really
out.
quickly.
Interesting.
So yeah, so
Oh,
if
I
you
didn't know that.
play that first, it'd basically be the GameCube one, but HD'd up.
Oh, that's
Or
interesting. Yeah. What's
that's the
next?
only
So,
thing.
you've got the 3. Then you got Code Veronica. Is that one
Yeah.
came after 3? And then,
Uh,
or was it between them or
ye-
whatever?
yeah, pretty much that was. If it's the mainline stuff, yes, it
Yeah.
was. Yeah,
And
yeah.
then what came out then after that? Is that 4 after that, or was it something else?
You got 4 come out a bit of a strange time with it because yeah, that was they changed it very differently before, and then 5 and 6 is like more of an action games, and
Yeah.
then you got the other 2 like first person newer ones. But in between those, thing is though, if you want to do the Resident Evil franchise,
Mhm.
there is a bit of a what do you call it, a rabbit hole of it all because you've got Gun Survivor, which is a
Yeah.
light gun Resident Evil game.
Different types of
You've
games, aren't they?
yeah, you've got Resident Evil Gaiden, which is I think you play as Barry on a ship,
What?
and that's on Game Boy Color.
I've never heard of that one. You play Barry on a ship? Oh my god, is it the same
Yeah,
voice actor? Oh, does
well,
he have voice
it's on a
acting?
Game Boy, so Game Boy
Oh,
Color, so there's no voice
nothing.
acting, unfortunately.
No.
And the way you attack is it goes first person because it's kind of isometric. It goes first person, and you have a little target out, and the zombie comes up, and then
Oh,
you
I
have to
see.
basically press the target
Yeah.
wherever the zombie is. And
Oh,
then you've got Resident Evil Revelations, which is set on weirdly on another boat on the first one, and then the second one you play as Barry trying to save his daughter on an island.
oh, they love
So
Barry, don't they?
yeah, they love it, Barry. Yeah, but actually Barry's been quite a good character.
And there's
I
actual
love
Resident
Barry.
Evil 1. Is Resident Evil 1 on the DS as well?
Yeah,
People
the
told me
one
that.
oh yeah, Resident Evil 1 DS is called Deadly Silence, and that's basically the game you played,
Mhm,
but they add in first person bits and they move puzzles around
mhm.
and you have additional things come up. It's a very good version. It
Yeah,
looks great.
yeah. I need to check it
And
out.
it surprises you because it adds some touchscreen stuff into
I
it.
love the DS. I mean, there's a bit of
Really
news
good.
later on, and which really got me to reminisce when I was watching a video about it, and I was like, "Oh God, I love the DS. I need to power that up." But anyway, yeah, I played Resident
Yeah.
Evil and beat that, so that's the start of my Resident Evil journey,
Oh,
which
I'm
will
excited for you because it's
continue in the new year probably.
yeah, you
Let's see,
should.
and then I've started playing Castlevania 3 to go back to Castlevania,
Yes.
and that I loved the Castlevania 1. I thought it was absolutely solid when I played it, and like I was on the
Yeah.
Dracula for like 2 hours on stream, but
Yeah.
it was so satisfying, and I love
I was
4.
there for
I
that.
mean,
I remember that.
I love 4 so much. 2, it was a weird one. I want to play on my own, but not on stream. It didn't feel like a stream game to me because there was a lot of backtracking. It was a bit dull. It was great
Yeah.
music in it though. In 2, kind of wish some of
Yeah.
the music of 2 was in 3, but 3 is incredible. I'm playing the Famicom version, which I believe like people will tell me play the Famicom version because it's like the music's better and the handles better, but it's actually easier apparently than the North American version.
Yeah, what makes it easier? Because I don't actually know. I know
Yeah.
it's meant to be easier. Do you get less hits? Like if you don't get damaged as much or
Something like
something?
that. Um,
Yeah.
well, from what people tell me, some of the enemies take less hits, and
Ah, okay.
so I didn't know this when I was going into this, but you can pick up different characters. Like I'm stupid, so I
Oh,
didn't
I
know
knew
this.
that. Yeah, I didn't want to say nothing because it's a
Yeah,
nice
it's
surprise, isn't
amazing.
it?
So I picked up a character called Grant, and he can climb walls, which is amazing.
Oh, is he
Um,
the thief
yeah,
character?
he kind of walk. He looks like Bret the Hitman Hart to me because he looks like glasses and he's got the thing. And
Yeah.
all I can see is Bret the Hitman Hart. And but apparently in the Western version, he's just got a dagger that just like he shoots like up close like that. He just stabs.
Oh,
But in
right.
this version,
Different.
it's a projectile dagger that you can so that makes it a hell of a lot better.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
yeah, that is a
It
big
just changed things,
difference.
but it's another one of those things where, like, yeah, I'm happy to play it this way. I still find it really tough because I'm really, really bad going up the stairs and down the
You love
stairs.
stairs. All I heard was,
Can't stand
"I'm
it.
pressing up. I'm pressing up."
I was going up.
I had on my phone. I had to turn you down because I had you going really loud, going, "I'm pressed up. I'm pressed up."
I've died like 120 times because I've brought back the death count of this, and I'm not joking. I think 110 times is literally going through stairs.
Is it a bit broken? Is it known for being a bit broken? That
I don't know if it's like
I've not played that one, so
I don't know if it's as worse as bad as the first one, because the first one's bad with stairs, but I just feel like maybe there's more stairs in this one. Like I'm just constantly falling through the damn stairs. Like I'm accidentally just, when I'm going, you're supposed to press up or down when you're near stairs, and then I'll probably press something else or whatever. I just so bad at it.
Has it got that issue?
Problem.
Has it got the issue where if you're going upstairs, the level's moved up a little bit, and if you've come off, even though the platform's literally just down here,
you'll fall
it's
through.
on screen, it's like falling into a hole.
Yeah, fall in a hole. Yeah, you have that as well. Oh, actually, I know you mean.
Do you know what I mean?
No, if you're thinking like Beetlejuice, if you can't see the ground, you fall.
Yeah.
No, not really.
Oh, okay.
If the screen can scroll down, you'll fall down.
Right.
But it's one of those things where if you're falling down and you land, and you're going to land on stairs, you'll fall right through the stairs instead of landing on top of the stairs, which is so annoying. You can't jump on stairs.
Yeah, that's a massive. It's like jumping on ladders and jumping on stairs in games is the biggest pet hate.
And I love those things. I always look out for those in NES games where if you can jump on a ladder, I'm like, yes, you can do that. It's made up. But jumping through stairs, it's the stairs are my enemy. The bosses are kind of fine. I mean, I'm probably breaking it because I've got this character who can just throw daggers, so you can stand at the side and just throw daggers. So
can you change your character at any point? How does the character stuff work?
So you bump into other characters while you beat bosses, and then I think they wear a character that's locked inside the body or something. You just kind of transform into this other character, or you turn up somewhere.
Oh, okay.
And they say, "Hey, can I come with you? I'll be really helpful." You say yes or no, and if you say yes, they join your group. But you can only have you, which is Trevor Belmont, and the other character. You can only have two at once. So I've kept this grand character, and someone came up to me and said, "Could I join?" I said, "No, go away. I'm not going anywhere else. Yeah, I'll have this one." So it's kind of cool. It reminds me of like, is it Double Dragon 3 that happens? Where if you beat a boss in Double Dragon 3, you get to keep them in your group. I thought that was cool.
Oh, I didn't know that. I've never played that one. That's cool.
It's really tough game, that. But like I remember, you get like one life, but like if you beat the boss, you get him, and they basically acts as another life, But
that's cool.
Remember it was so tough as a kid. But yeah, I love this. Like, because I think for 2, I suppose they took a misstep in a way. Like, people weren't ready for a full-on like RPG, so they went, okay, let's go back to a linear Castlevania. But they put a lot of bells and whistles in it with the kind of groups and the different paths and things like that. And I've got a bit of help, I'll be honest, from people in the chat who were like, take the top route, it's easier, or take the top route or the bottom route.
Oh, so there are routes then and stuff to take.
Different routes. And I get this is my first playthrough, but I feel like this is going to be a game I return back to because there's so many different routes you can take and different characters, and also I want to play the Western version at some point and kind of
just really compare if it is it.
I want to compare. I love doing that. You know what I'm like. I love going back to games that like I've beaten one way and you can go back and do it a different way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just love that kind of open endedness to these things, the replayability. I've done that with loads of games where people go, "Oh, this is how you get the good ending." I was like, "Well, I'm happy getting the bad ending because then it gives me something."
You want to just do your own path. Then when you want to aim towards that one, look into it. Like if we were told about the end of Castlevania, that would have put more pressure on me and Danielle to try and get that ending, and then we wouldn't have found it as fun.
Exactly.
We just played for it as it was. If it's a good ending or bad ending, we went with that. Yeah,
and to be honest, because I've gone into this one thinking, I thought it was just because to play the Famicom version because the music's better and the game handles a bit better with loading or something like that. I didn't realize there's a kind of a character that makes it a lot easier. So there's that element of like, well, I just want to see this game through now with about still 1 million deaths, and then in the future go back to it as the Western version or play a different way. I just want to kind of like do it because I feel like in a way I'm beating it, but I'm not truly beating it in a way I kind of want to, because I feel like anyone who knows this game's going, "Oh, you're playing that version, are you? Oh, go to you know what I mean?" They're going to be like, "You should play the other version."
No, I get that. Yeah. But
you know what I mean?
But do you know how far you are in the game?
I don't know actually. I mean, I think I'm on like level 6. And someone said there's like 18 levels, but you don't see them all.
Wow, really?
There's all branching paths, isn't it? So I don't know how many.
Oh, yeah, of course, yeah.
But I'm excited to get through it. I mean, it's like it's like with Mega Man, isn't it? Like I got how many Mega Mans did I get through? I think I was on the fourth one, and I need to return. I need to return to that. But these franchises I just love, you know what I mean? I'm so glad you're the same with Mega Man. We kind of got into these like years later. We didn't get into them when we were kids.
Yeah. And it's always that same old thing, isn't it? Where everyone says, "Oh, it's great. It's the best game ever," and you kind of go, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'm sure it's great." And then you play it. Then you go to everyone. It's a really good game, isn't it? They go,
Yes.
"Yeah, we told you.
We told you many years ago." Yeah. So that's the games I've been playing, and I'm gonna start playing Clock Tower tomorrow on Halloween. It's my game. I can't wait. I'm so glad that's got a Western release now. So glad.
Yeah.
Because we just
it only took like
forever,
30 years, but
it's
we
like
got it.
Because every year I've been playing it, I've just been like playing a ROM patched version, you know.
Everyone. Even I even looked on like other places like AliExpress and stuff to get like a reproduction cartridge of the translation. Even they go for like 20-30 quid for a reproduction.
I wonder if it's going to go down in price now because this version's out. Because
how much was your one?
Oh god! You know what? I thought it was going to be about 20 quid, which I thought was reasonable to be honest. But I was like, but it's on offer at Steam at the moment for like 12 quid. And I was like, oh my god!
Wow, really? Okay,
yeah. So because it's got an offer on, and so I jumped on it because obviously they've got one of the things that jumped out on me when I was looking at the bullet points because I haven't looked at it yet because I want to play it completely.
Oh yeah. I know bits about it, but I won't say.
There's interviews on there with the people behind it. I was like,
that got me as well. I was like,
you know, I love that. I love all that stuff. So I'm really excited to play. More so because I really wanted this because I just wanted something like I wanted that in my Steam library I can play every year. Like, you know, like a legit version of the game. I mean, I'd love to get a hard copy.
Again, multiple endings. Go for different endings.
I wonder if it'll save that. I suppose it will save all the endings on there.
It's got to, surely.
Yeah, it's got to.
Yeah.
I know another streamer, Emmy, who went through all the endings and cleared them all. I saw that tweet, but I didn't watch any of it because it's their favorite game of all time. I mean,
okay.
It's probably my favorite horror game ever. Like it's playing it on stream, and I was spooked like a couple of years ago for the first time. I was like, oh my god, it's so good in 16-bit.
How can I get scared from a 16-bit SNES game? But it gets you. The music, the way that doom noise.
Oh god, yeah.
You know a bit. Yeah, you know what I mean.
And then you know the Scissor Man's coming for you, and it's like, it's scary, you know. But it's a nice crossover with like it's got like Suspiria bits in it, and obviously it's got what's her name from from Labyrinth.
It blatantly is, isn't it? It had to be based on her, sure.
She was in a movie called Phenomenina, as that was it called? But it's like a Dario Argento horror movie, and I think they kind of like with kind of inspired by that as well as a bit of giallo going on there, horror stuff. It's such a good game. So I'm hoping it's good.
I've not actually played it. I want to play the new one.
I think you should pick it up. I'm hoping it's good. I hope because like I'm always worried about like when these things get re-released because everyone said the Blade Runner remake was not very good. So I'm gonna try it out for myself tomorrow. But
the thing that might help you with confidence, it's done by a company called Way Forward.
Yeah, Way Forward. Yeah,
and they are good.
They're really good.
Yeah, Shantae. Genie Games. They've done.
I need to play the Shantae games. I think they're my type of games as well. They're all like Metroidvanias, aren't they? So
you like them.
My type of thing. So I'm really hoping it's good anyway. So I'll let it go. But anyway, that was the games we've been playing and the kind of games we're going to play and Halloween chat. Let's have a little look at the news. Not much news, but so we'll just get through it this week. Right, a Croc remaster new trailer came out. Now, last time we talked about this, I was a bit like. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. But it looked very bare bones, and it felt like it was kind of a tease. I've got to say, this new trailer got me a little. It looks way better. It's a lot more polished. You know?
I really like the look of it because I was a massive Croc fan. So I'm really excited to give this a go. The only thing, I don't know if it's 100% true yet, just what I've read online. They've got you can't switch between the two control systems. You can't have the tank control. And a modern is just a modern, and I'm a bit like,
that's a missed opportunity, isn't it?
Yeah, well, at least have an option to say
retro controls
and modern, which I do in a lot of games.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. You'd probably be okay with the classic because of playing through Resident Evil. It's that kind of feel.
I did see though with the GOG release of it, you do get the classic version with it as a separate game. So maybe that's why. So you can get the old
Oh,
one.
actually, I didn't realise that.
But I don't know
Oh,
if
I
that's with
didn't.
Steam. You probably do the same
Yeah,
thing with Steam and all that as well. But you
yeah,
get the classic game with it as a separate game. But saying that, that means you don't get the choice of the controls with the modern version of it. I guess you have to go to
yeah.
the
But
classic game, which you've already probably got if you know this game.
well, at the end of the day, if I want to play it, the thing is, I guess that they do it for good reason because at the end of the day, if you really want to play the OG one, yeah, play the original one. And
Yeah,
this is meant to, but the whole reason for this is to revamp it because if it's exactly the same, it's kind of completely pointless, really.
yeah,
But yeah, I really, really want to give it a go.
yeah. Me
Um,
too. I can't remember what the date was actually, like when it's coming out. I'll have a look
oh,
at the
I forgot
link
the
now.
date.
It might say in the actual trailer, right?
Is it saying it? Normally it says in the description and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm looking at the descriptions now. I'm not seeing anything. Let's skip to the end of
While
it.
you're looking at
It is
that,
coming soon.
the company are is it Argonauts?
Yeah.
Argonauts his name. Each
Hold on.
week, I don't know if you've been seeing it, but they've basically been releasing old trailers or old adverts for Croc,
Oh,
along with the one of the managing directors of design. Went to where the original offices Argonauts was and what it is now. So they
oh, that's
kind of
cool.
really reliving the past on
Yeah,
how
relishing the
they went
retro.
through it.
Yeah, that's
It's
lovely.
really cool.
Yeah, I think I'm sold on it by the new trailer, and it's because I'm playing a lot of retro inspired games as well. I might even fit into
Yeah,
that slot where I can play
that'd be quite
on
nice.
stream. You've played Croc on stream, haven't you? You played
I
the
did, yeah, Croc 1 and 2. I've actually
yeah.
also got the two Game Boy Color games as well, which
Oh,
I've not played them yet. I wanted to do, I don't know, I wanted to play all of them at some point. So
I
that's
think you
at the
should
same
do
time.
that as when this is coming out. Because everyone will be like jumping
Well,
onto
that's it.
Croc.
I want to try
Yeah,
and do a bit of a celebration thing and have like play
Ignite.
through the other Croc games.
Yeah.
But I like number one more than two because I like the simplicity of number one.
Mm,
It's a very simplistic game. There's
yeah.
the collectibles where you collect certain colour gems to get one part. You got all the gobos, which I still don't know how you meant to say it. I say gobos. Other people say gabos. I
Go
don't
or
know.
something.
So I don't know. But yeah, so you get, and I haven't actually ever 100%ed the game. So I'm
Yeah.
hoping maybe the new one, I want to try and do 100% on it or something.
It's weird for me because I've said this before, but like I always put this and Spyro together. For when I saw them as like growing up,
Yeah,
I thought they were kids'
yeah,
games and Spyro and Croc. Oh, they're not for
yeah,
me; they're for kids. So when I first saw the remaster for Croc, the original trailer, I was like, "Oh, that doesn't look as good as the remaster from the Spyro." But I think Spyro had a
yeah.
lot more people behind it because it was really nice looking that Spyro one.
Well, at the end of
But
the
yeah,
day,
we
though, you've got
could do well.
different companies behind it. Argonauts
Mm,
was a smaller company, and then you got who did Spyro? Oh no, who did Spyro? This
I
is where
don't
everyone's
know.
going to have a go at me now. It's a big company. I can't
Yeah,
remember who it is now, but it's a
go
big
on. I'll
company
look
who
it up.
works on
I'll look it
those
up while you do
anyway.
it. Come on.
Yeah. But because they had a big company behind it, they obviously got the more money to do it. This feels quite an indie project to a point, which I really like.
So I don't
Feels
know
more
if
of a passion
it
project.
was the original developers on it, but it was Toys for Bob, Insomniac
Oh,
Games,
oh, Toys for Bob's are the people who
who
remade it because they
remade it.
also did the Crash Bandicoot remake as well.
Okay. So Insomniac didn't do the originally, did they?
Oh, yeah, it must.
Was it them? And Vivendi Games, and the publishers were Activision.
Yeah, I think it's them actually. Insomniac Games,
Yeah,
or what they're called. Yeah, that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's them actually.
yeah,
So yeah, that's what I liked it. And also, well, the pointless facts I've said before, but I'll say again, is that Croc was originally meant to be a Yoshi game.
yeah. That's
Yeah, and
amazing,
Nintendo
actually.
rejected it, and they went, all right, then we'll do our own thing with
Your
it.
own thing. That's great. I love that.
Yeah.
But that looks cool, and this looks even cooler. The Thing gameplay trailer. I don't understand why this isn't out for like now for Halloween.
I know it's mind blowing, isn't it? You're like,
Yeah,
okay, we got no big releases because, like, if it was definitely if a new Resident Evil game was coming out and people were like, well, let's not bother because there's a new Resident Evil out, and if we release it now, it's going to get shadowed by that.
yeah. I'm
There
gonna look
isn't.
the release date
Um,
because I didn't look this up again. Obviously,
because
release
I've
date.
got that on the original
I feel it'll be
Xbox.
November or
Um,
something.
it's an interesting one because you have to get like you have to get trustworthy with other people in the crew and they
Yeah,
help you in the game and stuff. I've not done a proper play of it, but I've got
it,
the Xbox one.
it's.
What's it say?
I've got the PlayStation 2 version,
Yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
I'm a massive John Carpenter fan, so like
Yeah,
as soon as I could get hold of it, I was like, I'm all over it. It's because it's
yeah,
coming
same.
soon. So it's probably going to be this year because they've got this trailer out, and I can't imagine them, starting the next year with it. But it's maybe just think of it as a winter release. But but the thing is like a massive like Halloween style time movie for me. So
Yeah.
that,
Oh, yeah. I watched
but
it already this October. I watched it. Oh, you know the friends we have. We go around to their place to watch movies.
mhm.
When they were over here last, we swapped between their place and our place. We watched some horror films downstairs. I can't remember what they were now, but they're really good. But they're ones that are kind of B movie ones. And then what happened was Danielle and his missus fell asleep downstairs because it's only small up here because you could see two-seater sofa. Me and my mate, we sat and watched the thing up here on Laserdisc instead.
Wow.
And
That's what I love that movie, but it's like one of those movies also that's quite slow paced. And like you're up really late and you're knackered, I could imagine you falling asleep to that a little bit. But it's amazing.
we was we are big fans. We love how it looks.
Yeah.
The bit that still gets me is the
The
petri
protest.
dish bit with
Yeah.
the electric sound, and
Yeah.
I had it from the speakers really loud. It was like, oh,
Yeah,
it always gets me.
it's amazing because like if you haven't watched that for a few years, you kind of forget who is the one who
Yeah,
reacts.
I honestly couldn't remember. I was
So
like,
so
wait a
well
minute,
done.
was he? Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah,
like a good reason for don't rewatch the thing too much, so
yeah,
you can
yeah.
you can
Try to
react to it.
kind of forget most of it, and you'd be
Yeah,
like, oh, what
it's
happened to
so
this
good.
guy
I still
or
have not got
whatever?
around to watching that prequel that came out a few years ago. Well, not a few years, probably 10 years ago.
Um, a bit of a nothing. Felt
Yeah,
a bit nothing, really.
I
It
saw
was
loads of
very
CG in it.
loosely.
I know people who love it, but I don't know.
Uh,
I'll get around to it. But the game, but
sorry, the game. Yes,
the
tracking
game,
it.
the game looks good. I like a good remake of it, and I'd like to pick that up.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's going to be a physical version or anything like that. I'm guessing.
Isn't
Oh
it
no,
sad
actually,
now?
it's a set.
Oh,
It's got all the list of all the
oh.
PS4, Xbox. Yeah, it is sad that we have to question that.
We have to question:
Yeah,
will it have a real copy? Will
yeah,
it be of? Will it exist in the world,
yeah.
not digitally? Isn't
And
that the
if it does
thing?
exist, then it's like a limited run or something.
Yeah,
And
and you'll get it in about
yeah,
4 years'
yeah,
time.
exactly. It's not around the corner. It's like really expensive, and you have to. Oh,
Yeah,
do you want to pay extra and get a manual with it or something? The
yeah,
stuff that we just literally take for granted years ago. Now it's like that's an extra thing on top of the. It's that's sad, isn't it? But again, we're the ones
yeah.
dying out with this stuff, I guess. But it's on Switch as well. Actually, Switch would be quite a good one to
Oh,
have it on.
actually,
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind playing it on Switch. Because that'd
yeah,
be that'd probably push me more to play it like portably and around and
yeah.
stuff. Play it in bed and
I
stuff.
would say under the covers would be quite like a
Yeah,
scary game, wouldn't it? I'll have a great with
yeah.
headphones on. Oh, what's going on? Do you know what? I really want to do that. Play. What are you doing, Stephen? I'm playing with me thing under the
Playing
covers.
with my thing under the covers. Don't disturb me.
Yeah, don't disturb me. But that looks great, and I do want to
Yeah,
I want to have a look at it. See, it depends when it comes out.
yeah.
Okay, a few things that have come out on the Nintendo Switch Online. Banjo Tooie, which is a sequel to Banjo Kazooie. I never played any of those, but my brother's a massive fan of those games, so he was the first one to tell me Banjo Tooie's out. Have you played any of those
Oh,
games?
just had it. We've completed both of those on stream.
Oh wow,
I never played them back in the day. Danny did because she was a massive
yeah,
N64 fan. I never had it. I was a PlayStation kid.
yeah,
So I got to experience the first time with her, but she knows the first game inside out. So
yeah.
it went like, where are we going now? She's like, right, go up here, do this. And I'm like,
Yeah, to be very logical with it.
but yeah, good.
Looks
Big
good.
games. Second one
Massive games.
is massive.
It was it. Big
And it's a bit
collectathon
like a
games
bit
as well, wasn't it?
daunting. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Nice to have them though, and Shadow Man, which actually got remastered a few years ago as well, so
It
it's nice to
did.
see
I
this.
got a bit confused with it. I thinking, Mum, this has got remastered, but I've never
Yeah,
actually played it. I think I have it on
seen it.
N64, and I think is it PlayStation or Dreamcast on
Mm,
one of those. I've got it on, but I've never played it. I'd
no,
like to at some point
I've
because
heard good things. People rate it
yeah.
quite highly, don't they? Turok 2, and I know you're not a fan of Turok. I don't know if you're a fan of Turok 2, but
Well,
I really like Turok 2. I think it's good.
that's the thing. It got better, I think, in the sequel. The
Get
first
better,
one,
yeah.
we just hated the checkpoint system, the
Bare bones, isn't it?
platforming.
It's early, isn't it? It's an early game.
Yeah, I think obviously number two. I heard that's when they really
Yeah,
stepped it up. And I said to Danielle, "Can we play that?" She went, "Yeah, we do it a little while." Meaning like she wants to, but she kind of doesn't.
yeah, it's about that.
But
I really
we
loved.
are like still all of them really.
I love Turok Rage Wars as well. I remember loving that.
Is that a multiplayer only one?
Multiplayer only, which is
Yeah,
kind
I
of
think
a
I
hard
have
sell.
that as well, but
And you need the I don't know if you need it, but we definitely had it. You need the expansion pack for the
expansion pack.
graphics one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't remember. So, yeah, it didn't do nothing for the first one, that's for sure.
No, but it had a really good weapon in Turok Rage Wars, where it was like an alien insemination gun, where you can stab
Ooh.
someone with it, and then they're walking around, and about a minute later, an embryo, like an alien, will just burst out of them. Like, so they're just walking around.
Wow, not a rip off of Alien much.
I know, totally rip off of Alien, but it was such a good idea because
Wow.
it's basically a ticking time bomb, and they're
Oh,
just
that's good. I
laughing.
like
I don't
that.
think
I
there's
like
any
that.
way of getting rid of it as well. I think maybe if you kill the person who did it, maybe that's the way you
Oh.
get rid of it. But it was such a good
Oh.
game. I really loved it. I need to get a copy of that game, but it's one of those times now where you've got your mates aren't coming around anymore, so you're getting this cartridge. You're going to sit and play Turok Rage Wars on your own. It's a bit sad, isn't
Yeah.
it?
I mean, press the button to shoot.
You
What
won't do
button?
it.
That button. Oh, you got
Or,
me again.
or there is
Go
a character
on.
that you can go a raptor in that, and you don't have to shoot. You just have to claw. It was actually really powerful.
You could be a raptor in it.
Yeah,
Oh, I didn't know
it's
that.
such a
That's
good game.
cool.
I reckon the game is probably about a couple of quid to pick up as well, because the Turok games is really cheap on Can't. Have you ever
Yeah,
seen them?
the Rage Wars is definitely super cheap because it's a multiplayer only game. There's not much demand for it.
Yeah,
So I've got that. I remember getting that one really cheap. I
yeah, I'm
think
going to pick that
Turok
up.
3 is a little bit more
It's for a
expensive.
free, because I don't even remember that coming out. I know it now, but I don't remember when it came out at
Yeah.
all. Like, it was off the radar. Did they make another Turok at all? Like
They
later on?
made an original Xbox one, and I say that because you got an Xbox 360 one as well,
Mm.
which I didn't know. The actual franchise started as a comic. It wasn't just a
Oh,
game. It was actually a comic, and
oh,
then it got games.
wow,
Like, okay,
yeah.
because you
I
get
would.
like figures and stuff.
I think I originally thought it was just a Nintendo
So did I.
franchise,
It's
yeah,
not
and then it went
that.
on
It's a
Xbox.
whole thing. It's a really old comic.
Yeah,
Which then they just picked it up and made a game out of it. But yeah, we will have to play through the others at some point.
yeah. Maybe they'll bring it back in some way. Someone will bring it
Yeah.
back, like one of these companies.
Okay.
Okay.
And also,
Go on.
I love how they did the trailer for it. They
What's the
did a
trailer?
Grindhouse style trailer for when they did Shadow Man and Turok 2. The trailer is done the Grindhouse style. I don't know if you noticed.
The new trailer for the Nintendo Switch
Yeah.
Online. Oh, I haven't
Yeah.
seen it. Oh, right.
Yeah,
Nintendo did
they've
that?
done it like a Grindhouse
Wow.
presentation. It's really good.
That's nuts for Nintendo to do that. Amazing.
Yeah.
Other news. I don't know if you've seen this. I just added this before the stream, actually. It was Speedball. There's a new version of Speedball coming out. And it's early access on the.
I literally saw it when I opened up the document. I did not know they were doing it.
So yeah, I think someone might put it on the Discord today, and it doesn't know this. So this is if you know Speedball's like an 80s game made by the Bitback Brothers, and it's basically just, if you ever seen the film Rollerball, because that's
I'm
basically
about to
what
say
it's
it reminds me of Rollerball straight away.
such a great movie. I love that movie.
Yeah.
Not the remake, but
no.
the original one. I don't really like sports games, but this is one I would play. Like I like this game. I remember playing this game years ago, and my cousins.
It's different, isn't it? It's a bit like NBA Jam.
It's a bit.
You don't know basketball, you kind of like it.
Yeah.
It's fun, isn't it?
I need to play NBA Jam, and for some reason, I just bypassed me forever. I bought
You would love it, even if you don't like basketball. I think you would really like it.
Because it's the arcadey nature I kind of like.
It is.
And this definitely looks more arcadey. Now it's early access. It's on Steam, and it's 15 quid, 14.99, and it looks super simple. So hopefully there's a good roadmap out there for it. But it looks pretty good. I've got to say, it looks very arcadey. Like, I'm very tempted to kind of like take a punt.
If a good multiplayer, would be quite nice to play, wouldn't it? I guess for people online.
It might be good, yeah. So I was looking at reviews before. I've read a couple of reviews because it's only just come out. So people said the game is pretty fun. Played a few games in practice and bots to get a feel for it. Now taking it online and play, and it's great. That's someone said.
Oh, okay.
Someone said it's pretty bare bones but promising. That's the thing about early access, isn't it? I'm actually surprised.
That's it. It's a bit of a weird thing. It's like playing a long demo, isn't it? Really.
Exactly. But it definitely feels like more practice you put in it, the better you'll be. It's gonna have all the upgrades and all that thing and all that. Cause it's basically about the players all get the kind
There's a good fan base behind it. It's been even though I haven't played it, but I do know the game. I think it had a Mega Drive release, it was on the Amiga and things like that, wasn't it?
It's on
So
everything, yeah. I think I've got like a couple of the Master System versions, 1 and 2.
a Master System as well. Oh,
Master
right,
System,
blimey,
yeah.
okay.
But
Yeah, cool.
I hope it's good. Like I'm going to keep an eye on it. At
Yeah,
first, when I saw the trailer, I thought it was just going to be like a concept trailer, just showing you kind of the CG intro of it. But then I realized,
yeah.
oh, it's actually early access. They've got gameplay straight away, and it came out on the 29th, which is yesterday.
The only thing is, it's a bit like I didn't know nothing about that, so they haven't really advertised that very
No, it
well
came out of
around.
nowhere. Maybe that's the early access thing because it's weird.
Oh,
I'm not
yeah,
really happy
yeah,
with it. I don't really like early access unless it's something like where they actually want feedback and that would make sense. But
yeah.
I don't know. I miss the old because I'm old. I miss the old days. We just brought a game out and you can play it, and it's just
Yeah,
done. You
wow,
know,
what? Yeah, what a concept! You buy a game and it's there, you
it's
play
there, and
it.
you don't have to use the internet to kind of complete it or something. You know, just
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you can't turn the clocks back. Okay, the next bit of news is a Zelda Breath of the Wild demake. Now you put this in there, and I watched the trailer. This is what I was talking about before. What I was saying, I was getting proper DS flashbacks, and it made me want to just power my DS back up because it's just gone.
I have recently, after you play Resident Evil, maybe get the DS out again to play some games on that.
I'm going to do it. I
But
think.
yes, this thing here, I don't know if you know what this is about.
Mm,
Basically, there was a guy on AliExpress bought one of them like 101 cartridges for a DS with all different games on, and amongst the games, because what they do is when you get like these cartridges with 101 games on, you got some games that probably shouldn't be there, but outside of the normal laws, they allow it somehow. They sometimes put homebrews on there, but they don't
mm,
say nothing about it. They just whack a remake of Mario in,
yeah,
like, I don't know, Metroid, and you're like, where did that come from? And it's just some random fan made thing. And this is basically someone's made a very bare bones version of Breath of the Wild on the DS.
I'm going to say
And
it's bare bones. So because I've looked at it, it's bare bones, but it's incredible because they
oh
basically
yeah,
made the whole of Hyrule.
yeah, the whole map is apparently. I obviously I've only watched the video, I've not played it myself, but I've watched his whole video on it,
Mm,
and basically the whole world is mapped out. There's no enemies, you can't use your swords, there's no
no,
horse, you
very
can't do
simple.
any combat. But didn't you, thing that got me the most, the animation on Link looks incredible.
Looks great.
I thought it was fake at first. I'm
That
like,
could have been a game. That could have
yeah,
been a game. Like, what did we get on the DS? We got like Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks. Were they the only Zelda games we got on DS?
yes. Well, yeah, we had, but don't forget Tingle. We had, what is it? No, yeah, the Tingle, the green guy. He got his
The other
own weird little game in
little
Japan.
mini thing, yeah.
Yeah,
But
but it wasn't a proper game. But them two,
but you
yeah,
see this and you think, oh, the potential. Like, I would play a game like that with those graphics. Like, bring more DS games
yeah,
out.
yeah. Yeah, like
Oh,
little D makes that, and it did look really like. I know you have to simplify a lot of things,
mm,
but um, it had like. But the thing is that makes it mad at the moment. No one's really owned up to owning it who made it.
no.
So it was on a random cartridge, and I'm assuming now it's got out there on internet like more publicly. I'm hoping that someone comes forward about it. And the problem is when you do a Nintendo property like that, Nintendo are pretty good to go after the people
Yeah,
who
that's
made
the
it and get
thing.
shut
You've got to be
down.
very
So
careful.
maybe that's why they've kept themselves quiet.
Yeah.
And then what they did was they've put it on these cartridges to kind of get word out there without advertising it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Maybe,
it.
I don't know. That could be
Yeah.
like a new way of getting out there. And
And it definitely has because people are interested in it.
yeah,
For me, it was just like when I was watching that video, I thought, wow, it's incredible that they mapped out the whole of Hyrule. You obviously can't do anything, can't even swing a sword or anything. It's just the character
no,
Link
just
walking
running,
around.
running across the land,
But it
but
shows
still
the scope of
potential.
what you could do. And it's
Yeah.
like, I mean, if you think about like the space it's taken up, it's like on a cart, it's got like 1,000 games or something.
Well, that's it. That's it.
Not
It's
very
not
much
even
space.
its own cartridge. It's
No.
with other things.
But I was getting, I was crazy because I was getting nostalgic about the DS, and I was like, "This is when we talk about where we thinking what is retro gaming to you." And I always
Yeah.
think about the Atari 2600, the Spectrum, the SNES, and NES. And I realized, oh my god, like the DS is retro, and I've got that kind of warm feeling about the DS. You know,
What game in
that
particular
retro
comes
feel.
first in mind?
Straight, do
What's
you know
the
what
first game?
Phantom Hourglass? I spent a lot of
Yeah.
time with that. That was the. I'm not even joking. Like, so well, I got rid of my DS, right? And I actually sold it when I was done because there was no other games to play, and I sold it to get this cardigan. This
Oh,
little garden that I'm wearing
freaky.
right now.
Ooh.
So, but part of me regrets it, although because I would have played more games. But I've got multiple DSs now because they're so cheap to get. But
I'm about to say, if you got one, I've got about 10. You could have
oh,
one.
I do need to get. I need to get more games for it. To be honest, I got rid of a lot of games. So in the past, so I need to go. It makes me want to collect them all. I mean, I've got Mario Brothers and all that stuff. I think still.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a big list of DS games I'm going to go through and go, oh,
It's
what
quite
have we
surprising.
got?
Thing is, you become overwhelmed because it's a whole nother library of games.
Yeah, it's true.
And you
True.
go, oh, that's all right. I'll give that one a go. And you think, is that to get that one? There's
What's
quite
the
a lot. And
pricing
that's,
situation on DS games? Are they kind of okay?
yeah,
Or
they are going up. They are
yeah.
going up. Like, it's the same like the 3DS. They're shooting up in price because that discontinued. But there's certain games that are like Chrono Trigger, which has come out in SNES. We only got
Oh,
it as a DS release.
yeah.
I remember seeing that for like 20 quid in CX years ago. I went, 20 quid for a DS game? Second hand? Oh, I'll leave
Oh
that.
no.
Oh, why did I leave that?
Yeah.
It's probably about £100 game now. And I'm
Oh.
like, why didn't I buy it? Why
Do
didn't
you
I
know
buy it
what's going to be
then?
strange? In about 10 years, we'll be saying the same thing about Switch games, probably.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, yeah.
you might even get to a point where Nintendo stops doing physical cards. They're probably going to be the last people doing it.
Yeah.
And we're going to be like, oh, I remember when Nintendo did physical cards. Someone will be like, remember the Switch? We should want to go out and buy loads of Switch games. But I
Yeah.
really hope they don't. Well, the Switch 2 looks like it's going to take cards again. But I think the model
I
said it
think
did.
they're going to keep that going for it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can say I'm not. I think that we ain't got. Sad truth is, we're not going to. The Nintendo not going to go. Yes, we're going to carry on doing them forever.
No, it's not.
It won't
I
happen.
think the
It will
PlayStation
end
and
with
Xbox with the next ones aren't going to
yeah,
launch with disc versions. They're going to have disc
yeah,
add-ons, aren't they? The little extra
yeah.
ones you can buy, and then the next one after that will be like no discs. They're kind of just making them optional at the moment,
Yeah.
and then
I
that's it.
feel like it's going to be a bit like basically what I see is like vinyl, where there'll
Mm,
be companies that will release physical cartridges like limited run
yeah,
and all those,
that's it.
strictly limited. I don't know the others, but there's a few others. But it's the same with vinyl. You don't get the big music companies bringing out vinyls of soundtracks. It's these little other companies that are bringing out
But I
vinyls.
wonder, like, say when a new Nintendo console comes out in the future, which doesn't have any capacity to play cartridges or anything like that,
Mm.
what will happen? Will a third party company come out and go, we're going to start making these games on a cartridge that can work with you, that somehow will they work with the platform? You know what I mean? Are they going to make is someone going to make a physical version of these things to cater for people like us who still want physical versions? Or are we going to see that as a thing we want because it's not official? You know?
Yeah, but then also you could say that stuff with like the Evercade because that's a whole new handheld
Yeah.
little
Good
console,
point.
but they are physical cartridges, and I
Yeah.
don't have one, but I would like one,
Yeah.
at some point. Do you know what I mean? And that's they are officially licensed, but it's not like from the company who
No,
made it.
and I
On,
do. I've been I kind of like the idea of the Evercade. Never really got
yeah,
into them, and I kind of wish
yeah,
it
same.
did. If you had the money, I would have jumped into it.
I
But
wish I didn't start and got
sort of
them when
sell
they
out.
came out.
Yeah, because they're making arcades now. I think I was just googling that now. Yeah, they're making Evercade Mega Man bar tops and think there's one
Yeah,
hard
and you
copy.
can put the cartridges in the front of that as well,
Is
so
that
you can play them as well.
no? You can put the cartridges in them
Yeah, there's a front slot on the bottom, so
on
you
the
can play
barcades.
games that are on it, and then you can slot them in as well.
Wait a
And I
minute.
think I don't know if it's like a smaller unit.
So the release date is 28th of November for this Mega Man
Yeah,
Evercade Alpha. It's called.
yeah, that's
Right.
it. Yeah. You can put your games in that one
Oh
in the
my god.
bottom.
Do you know what? £200 a good price point for this. It's a barcade, so it goes on your counter.
Yeah,
So the first ever Evercade compatible arcade allows you to expand your gaming with over 60 physical cards. Oh, this is amazing. And
yeah.
more than,
See,
oh
and
my god.
I've been eyeing that one up. I was like, actually, I might hold out and maybe get into them at some point or
I
something like
think
that.
that's it, for people who haven't got
Yeah,
the space but want a kind of the arcade and also be able to play all these old games. Although, like, a lot of the games on Arcade aren't arcade games, are they?
it's a mixed bag. Some
Mm,
are, and some that only were arcade. There's some that
yeah,
are indie games, others that are console ones, but it is a bit all over the place. You
because
got
you've got
Commodore and
some
whatnot.
you got Mega Man games on this, but you're playing it with a stick. You're playing with an arcade stick.
Yeah,
And it looks
I,
amazing, to be honest. I love the look of it. I love the graphics and everything like that. It's just playing games that you're used to playing
but you
on.
can plug controllers into it. I know it kind of kills the point of having the
Yeah,
arcade thing, but you can plug the controllers in if you wanted to.
but it just feels like I mean, they probably have already. They released like an arcade cartridge with loads of arcade, like classic
I think there
arcade
is. I
games.
can't remember. I don't know the full
Yeah,
library, but there's quite a few out in the library now because even
yeah,
CX started selling them in there now.
yeah. There's a few arcade games on there, but it's like mainly Mega Man games.
Yeah.
Curtis, though, the fact that you can upgrade it with cartridge, that's such a good idea.
I know. That's what
Because
made me actually a bit more of a
with
like.
mine, like so I've got an arcade one up, the
Mm,
Street Fighter one, and it's like if you keep it stock, you
yeah,
can't add any more games on. You've got to do like a soft mod with this version, and you can put other games on.
yeah,
So they've been kind of crying out for something like this where
yeah,
you can just upgrade it legally, in
yeah,
a legit
yeah,
way, and
yeah,
also it's physical cartridges, so you kind of get the I'm a collector as well,
yeah,
and it just
yeah.
I don't know if is it just the bar top ones that you do, or do you know if they're doing an actual one with a rise and everything? Do you know? It looks like it's
I
just the
don't know
bar top
that.
one.
No, that's as much as I know on it. I just know the little
No,
Mega Man
oh,
one.
I see. I'm looking at the website now, and they've got two of them. One's a Street Fighter 2. Oh my god, one's a Street Fighter 2 one. So there you go. You've got the
So
Street
to
Fighter
add
2.
on your list.
Well, no, I've got Street Fighter 2 arcade one up, so there's no point.
If you could have that one as well
I
next to
know.
it, it
So could
complement each
you.
other.
So could you. I mean, you could get this. It's £200. Do you know what? That's a really good price point because I think the arcade one up's more expensive than that, like $299. Depends what they like. I'm going to
Yeah.
read reviews. If it's out soon, I'm guessing a lot of YouTubers would do some reviews. I'll review one if someone sends me one.
So you should get one. It's rather get someone send it to you, or get it. You can review it, and then
I'd love to. I think that'd be really fun. But anyway, that was the news. What was that news point? Oh, that was. How did we go?
I went
How did
from
we get from
Zelda on the DS
Zelda?
to arcade.
To be honest, I do want to talk about like home arcade stuff,
Yeah,
like in the future. I do like that stuff, and I think you're going to get into it by accident. It's going to happen, and suddenly you're going to be
yeah.
like, it's going to be behind you. Go look how we've talked about the podcast so much, and I've got one now, and it just
When I
happened.
went round Super's house and played on his arcade one up, and I was like, I want one so bad.
It's
Now,
just nice, isn't it? It's just fun to
once
have something like that, when you're a
yeah.
gamer, or when you just want those 5 minutes. I was like, I set mine up the other day because I had an issue with it, and I fixed it, and then I was playing some Donkey Kong on it the other day, and it was just nice to sit there playing classic arcade games.
That's what I want to do. I want to play ones that I want to beat a score at. I don't
Yeah,
want games to really complete. I want
no,
to go right. I want to jump on 10 minutes. All right, let's try and beat 100,000. I'm like,
yeah.
yes, I'm beating it. Or jump on every now and again. Like, come there,
Exactly.
have a
You
cup
get
of
that
tea,
feeling like when
and
you're
then
at the arcades. That's what it
yeah,
is. Like I'm
yeah.
getting the Gallagher machine for Christmas. I don't even know where it's going to go. I've got no space. But I'm not doing anything with it. It's keeping stock. It's got Gallagher on. It's got Pac-Man and all that. It's just got
That's fair.
those classic games. But I'm only going to play. It's going to be a Gallagher machine for me because I love that
Yeah,
game so
and
much.
then you just try and get better at it, and then just keep
Exactly.
practicing it.
Exactly. So yeah, expect more home arcade news, and also everyone to everyone in the comments tell Plungers to get an arcade. It's addictive. Let's go into some questions, eh? And we've got some Halloween questions, which is good because it's the Halloween special.
Ooh.
Ooh! Everyone in the chat say, "Ooh!" How
Ooh.
would you do that with the ooze, like going bigger and smaller? That's what people do.
Yeah, bigger and smaller. Yeah,
Okay.
I think.
Who can do it the best?
Ooh.
Let us know.
And some W's maybe, and some U's. Ooh.
Right. Oh, do you know what though? We'll start one with which isn't a Halloween question, but it's a good question. Has there been? This is from Gas Halley. Has there been a game of a movie that either of you have played that then made you want to watch the movie afterwards? I've got an answer for this instantly.
Oh,
So
I mean, research. You go first.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna say an answer that you'll probably go, oh yeah, GoldenEye. I've never been a Bond fan at all, really. But
Oh,
I
really?
played the game and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I want to see what the movie does with this game. And then watching the movie, I was like, oh, there's the facility level where he's in the toilets.
Oh, that's a weird way of doing it because
Yeah,
obviously I saw the film beforehand. So I
I
was
was
like,
never.
oh,
At some point in my life, I'm going to go and watch the Bond movies, but I just never really got interested in it because it felt like the
yeah.
same movie over and over again. There's no risk. He's going to just live all the way through. But I'm at the age now where I feel like I can enjoy them.
No, I think you will appreciate them
Yeah,
massively,
I
especially
will.
when you know the
Soundtracks and
first
all
one
that as
come
well.
out in the 60s.
Yeah, it's been
It's
going
not
on
the
for so
70s
long.
or
I can't
80s.
ignore it. But I loved GoldenEye so much. It was like I know people argue say, oh, there was multiplayer games on PC and all that. If you were a console person, like a bunch of
Yeah.
us, we never had access to PCs. So GoldenEye for me was the game that you made to come round and you'd be like, oh, I can. It all like you see each other on the screen, so that became an element of it. And we had the point where like, we put cardboard there, so you can't see that person.
Yeah.
It was just so much fun, and then it made me want to watch the movie because of it. And I like the movie. Pretty much the only I've seen a bunch of the others, but that's the one I can remember mostly.
Yeah, because you got something to relate to it and go, oh, there's this that you can pick up on.
Exactly, and I love that. So have you gone on to it?
Well, sort of. Basically, there's a game on the PlayStation called Apocalypse, starring Bruce Willis.
Oh, I know the movie. Yeah, I know the movie. Yeah.
Well, no, there isn't. That's
not the movie.
There isn't a movie.
I was going to say Mercury Rising. I was thinking of that one.
Oh, well, basically, it's got Bruce Willis on the cover. It's officially endorsed by Bruce Willis. They made the game, and they were going to make a movie based on. No, they were going to make a movie and had the game to go along with it. So the company made the game for it, but the movie, for some reason, I can't remember why now, didn't come out. So they made a movie game without the movie. And I wanted to watch the movie. I went, oh, what the movie's like? I went, oh, it doesn't exist.
Didn't that happen with really what's that guy out of Triple X? Is it, that guy?
Vin Diesel with...
Was the Wheelman or something like that? Wheels.
Oh, the Wheelman. Yeah, that's really good, that one. Yeah, was
that a movie as well, or was it just a game?
It's actually because Vin Diesel was a massive video game fan. He's made a game out of Riddick.
Yes.
Chronicles of Riddick and stuff like that. Yes. And there's a sequel for it via the game and stuff like that. It's different to the movie. Okay. End of the game is a prequel.
I've only seen the first movie. I thought the first movie was all right, actually.
Chronicles of Riddick or Pitch Black?
Pitch Black.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Pitch Black. I've only seen that one. And I've not played the game, but I know a lot of people love it and think it's really good. I don't know what it'd be like now, because it's at that time where everything was just like...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's very dark and... Actually, one other bit with Bruce Willis one, which I did play the game before I saw the movie, Fifth Element on the PlayStation.
Was that any good? The game? No, I'm gonna say
I loved it as a kid. It was pretty trash. It's pretty bad, but it had scenes of the movie in the game.
Yeah.
So I saw bits where he's having a shootout and the opera singer bit, and I've played that before I saw the movie.
Yeah.
So that I guess you could say, well, yeah, that one was one.
What's the game actually like? Do you remember? Like, is it like a platformer?
It's it plays a bit like the Star Wars Jedi Knight games, where it's like a third person perspective.
Right, yeah.
And you can play as Leela, not Leela, that's Futurama. You play as her, and you're trying to escape the place, so you're doing all martial arts and beating everyone up.
Yeah.
And then when you play as Bruce Willis's character, which I forgot his name, I can't remember his name at all now. But anyway, him, and he's obviously got a handgun, he's shooting, and it's all like, but it's pretty janky, and the platform's terrible, and it has some racing sections in his taxi and stuff like that. But I loved it because it was kind of like, I got some early PlayStation games at the time. My mum just got me it because she knew there was a film out. And then I played that, and I was like, "Oh, there were
really good like movie games back then, though." And we normally just tar them with the same brush and say they were all rubbish. But like the Die Hard trilogy game was amazing, wasn't it?
Loved it. My favourite Christmas game that is.
The first part of it, I loved. I was kind of crash at either, to be honest, but the first one I thought was amazing. Like I tried it a couple of years ago. I was so bad at it, but I loved it back in the day.
It is tough. The first one's quite tough to dodge and when they're attacking you, but it's quite long, the first game. But I actually completed all 3 of them.
Oh, nice.
Of it, because I did that as a Christmas game.
And there's a sequel as well, which I've got it, but I've never really played it.
Viva Las Vegas?
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Yeah.
It's not even... And also, it's called Die Hard Trilogy 2. The English work there.
It makes no sense. It should be like... I don't know what you call it. Second trilogy? Quadrillion, I don't know. I don't know.
I've never played it, but I do have a copy of it.
Yeah. Moving on, we got another question. This one's from Chris. Chris asked us both on both of our channels, by the way. Will there be a special podcast episode at Blackpool Gamer Market next year? Chris, you madman. It's like I said in yours, we could be dead by then.
Yeah. We will if you turn up, Chris.
Oh yeah, if Chris is there,
you're the cameraman, and
we can do a special one where we have like special guests now and again who drop in.
Yeah,
there you go.
Oh yeah. Well, actually, to be fair, with this year, what I would like to have done was, but it didn't work out because it was so busy and there was so much going on. What my idea was that we may be able to do next year, if you're up for it, is if if we got a hotel room and when it's fresh in our minds at the end of the expo, or at least on the
Yeah,
Saturday, we do a talk about the expo, like
yeah,
quite
or
fresh,
even if it's a
that
special,
sort of
you
thing,
know. Yeah,
and we'd film it in the hotel room,
yeah. Just
that sort of thing,
bring
like
some mics and
yeah.
stuff with us,
Yeah,
especially
yeah,
for
yeah,
him. Yeah,
that sort of thing.
do
I
a
was
proper
going to try and do
setup.
it for this year, but it was a lot going
Yeah,
on,
we'll do it.
and
We'll do it. You know,
but yeah, that's
yeah.
that kind of is the sort of thing I would like to do if we did do it next year.
Right. Some quick fire Halloween questions then.
Ooh,
Ooh. Dame Karen
timing. That's
asks,
good.
what's your favourite Halloween costume you've worn? And what's the best Halloween costume you've seen someone else do?
My I remember my one. I went to my mate's Halloween party and I did a Jason Voorhees, but I got a mask that had neon lights that glowed up inside the mask,
Oh my
and I
God,
wore
boss.
a boiler suit on top of it. And
Oh,
I
the
looked,
boss.
it's pretty scary. I walk up behind, and because they couldn't see my face at all, I walked to the party and just stand in front of their face like that
Oh, that's cool. I'd
for
like to do that, to be
ages.
honest. I'd love to do that.
You
I'd
know,
love to do that, or the proper Michael Myers one. I think for me, it was like at the time the Dark Knight came out, I went, oh, I'm going to do the Joker like everyone else. I was short hair. I had hair then, and they dyed it green, and my face was all white, and it did all the thing, and it
I
looked
want to
pretty
see a
good.
picture of this.
There is a picture out there, but that was cool. The best one I've seen actually
Hmm.
recently. Someone's got a costume of the Thing, you know, with the bit with the dogs.
Oh, I've
All
seen that.
so
I've
that
seen
how
that.
good was that? I
Like the
thought it was
dog, you've got a
incredible.
dog moving over
Oh
here.
my
You've got the
God,
head over this side. I'm
so
like,
good.
I couldn't even get into my brain. Is it a person controlling it?
I don't know
Oh, I
where
was
it's somewhat. There's a
messing my head.
person somewhere in there. And the first thought was like, what happens if they need the loo? Like,
Yeah,
how did they get in the room? Do you know what I
they
mean?
kind of it got like walking sideways, and then
Sitting
like
down, just sitting
he
down.
assisted.
I thought it was great.
What
Okay,
my
Cat,
favourite? Oh, so
go on.
really
Oh, yeah, no,
quickly,
you go
my
for it.
favourite suit ever was a father and son. But what they did was the dad was the
You
oh,
type
what's it
in dead?
called? Sorry.
No, I've seen a typing of dead. What if we going to go for that? No, go on. Have
Oh
you?
no, you know the forklift in Aliens,
Oh yeah.
and he had the baby as Ripley in the middle with a cage
No, that's
bit,
brilliant.
and he was the Walker.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Brilliant. That's my
That is
favorite, and that was years and years ago,
okay.
but that was my favorite.
That's amazing. Incorporate your whole family. It's lovely.
And he was
Okay,
loving it. The little kid was loving it.
Karen also asks, "What's the best thing you've ever received trick or treating?" I mean, I can't remember. I've been once as a kid, and I just got like
I
maybe a Twix, something like
oh,
that,
what full size Twix? Not a
or
party size.
probably a full size Twix because you normally
Ooh.
get sweets, don't you? So
Yeah.
probably a Twix or something like that years
I'm
ago.
boring. I never went trick or treating as a kid.
Yeah, you know.
Never did any of that. So
We
I
should go
literally
now.
can't even
Like we
answer
should
it.
go. I was going to say we should go put like shoes on our knees and just knock on people's house. Trick or treat.
Trick or treat, and
You
they
know.
go, "Is that you, Chris, from down the road?" No, it's not.
No, it's not.
No.
It's Chris from the other road. Gaz Halley says, first Halloween style games you played. Oh my god, this is like a horror game. Horror game? I don't even know. I can't say the first horror game I ever played. I can't remember.
Horror game.
I'd say Mortal Kombat. That's the first thing that comes to mind because it's got fatalities
Oh
in
yeah,
it.
yeah, it's a good point
Yeah,
actually.
that's the first
Well,
time
I'd
ever.
probably. Well, mine would probably be obscure. I guess was Aliens on the Commodore 64 with my
Oh
mum.
yes, I think I think Aliens on
Maybe
the Becky.
because there's one
Alien,
where you got to go along the corridor, and it was scary. The
yeah,
alien would walk past you, and me
yeah,
and my mum would be like, "Oh, go and have a door, go and have a door," and I'm like, "I don't know what
yeah.
I'm doing." So we got
I,
joysticks, and like, it
it
would
must have been a
panic.
different
I
version of
remember
when I
that.
played because the version I played, you just span round the room and nothing happened. It was just
Yeah,
like I
it
don't know
gives
what I'm doing.
ages, and then you'd be there for ages going, "What's going on?" And then you suddenly sit and you didn't know what to do. That's what I could think of straight
That
away.
and it's not a video game, but Atmosphere, the board game. It always feels like a
Always
scary
want to
board
play
game.
that.
So
Always want
good.
to the
Did
video
you not play
version.
that back in the day?
No, I never had
Oh my
it. I
god.
just remember the adverts and like hyped by it.
We need to get a bunch of us together and play that one time. That'd
Well
be
up for
great.
that.
Wouldn't that be great? We'll film us doing it. Mr. Lachlan's asked, what's your Halloween candy chocolate tier list? Okay, if you want to get some chocolate tomorrow or something for your Halloween movie night, what has got to be on the list for you and Danny?
I like picky things. Like I love like jelly shaped things. Like you know you got Haribo Star Mix type
Yes, I
things.
love that. Yeah,
Like you know like jelly like the hearts and all that
fantastic
lot.
and
But
all
the
that.
ones
Yeah,
you can get where it's like vampire teeth and
yes, I love all
stuff
that.
like that.
Yeah.
Them sort of ones. I
Yeah,
like those.
Haribo have
You
got some
can
kind
get
of
'em.
the skeletons. They're called like
I've not
Sabo
seen them.
skeletons. Yeah, that's this year. They're really nice. So you're not really into like the chocolate and stuff. Doesn't jump at you.
Yeah, I do have chocolate, but I mean, yeah, I'm trying to think what's.
Do you like toffee apples or candy apples? They call them in
Do you know
America.
I've never had one.
I liked them as a kid. Now I'm like, no, no way. I like apples and I like chocolate, but never the twain should meet. I don't want
This
them
is a bit
together.
bizarre. It's a
You
bit
know
like the thing that the phenomenal in America that like they have candy corn, but apparently everyone hates
what
it,
is it?
but everyone has it.
I've heard of it and it sounds nice, but is it?
It does.
It's not
It's just
sweet corn,
like
is it? Like
sugary, like little, like I don't know, like corn syrup,
oh
type little shaped things.
yeah, I always hear
I
that people
don't know.
don't like it. I
Yeah,
probably try
but
it.
it's iconic.
Yeah, popcorn's
So,
pretty iconic, but I haven't got any in. Um,
cereal. There we go. A bowl. Yeah, give me a bowl of cereal. There you go.
cereal, of course. I'm gutted because we're not in America where they have like
About to
chocolate and
say
all
that.
that stuff. Gutted,
There's
absolutely gutted.
Frankenberry, Count Chocula, and there's a third one, but I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, but they only come out seasonal as well, so you can only buy it during like
We don't have
October.
anything like that. I don't
You
think.
don't. Not
Probably
well. I
someone
didn't
shouting
see
out right
anything
now.
like
We've
that.
got something, but bite-sized shredded wheat. I thought was a good pun at the start of the stream. Talking about the start of the stream or the podcast, it's the end of the podcast now. So thank you so much
Ooh.
for everybody's questions there. If you have got a question right there, please put it in the bottom there if you're watching us on YouTube. If you're watching us on Spotify, then I will not read your questions, but
I
Plungy
did.
will. He will read the questions and then we'll put it on our list for the
Yeah.
next one. The next one's going to be 7, which is weird, isn't it? 7 podcasts.
7.
We're nearly at 10. We're nearly there. Can
Oh.
we make it at 10 before we get
A
bored?
10-episode special.
We're gonna
I don't
10.
know.
Oh, when we get to 10,
I would hype it up.
you're gonna give away your virtual boy.
And apparently you're giving away your gremlin at the back.
No, I think you're gonna say the arcade one.
Yes, I will do
Anything will be no. But anyway, thanks, guys. Thank you so much for watching this. Do hit the links in the bottom there to go and find out where Plunger's live, when Plunger's live, or his YouTube channel and all that stuff. And the same with me when I'm on Twitch and that, or when I'm putting YouTube videos in there. Give the channel a follow if you're new. You're probably not new because you've watched this for the first all the way through for an hour and a half, which would be weird.
Definitely.
But not weird. It'd be all right.
No, not weird.
You're not
Come
weird. You're amazing. Have a bloody awesome Halloween, everybody, and we'll see you next time in the next one. Bye.
See you, bye. Ooh.
Ooh.